Hey everybody, how are we? I'm just going to keep going. We'll see you guys later. Have a good day.
You too.
So, I'm really happy to be here today. My name is Dave Stevens. It's a wonderful day. We kicked off things with Eric LeGrand, and it was just, it's wonderful when I get to spend time with him. I've seen him from time to time and watched him grow. So, you know, what you're looking at right now is one of those things where what you see isn't always what you get. And you've heard of the old adage, you know, never judge a book by its cover. You know what that means? Well, when you see me come to the schools and you see a guy in a wheelchair and you see somebody with my physical limitations, you immediately probably feel sorry for them and feel like, wow, you know, he's had a pretty bad life. But I'm here to tell you, and we're going to spend the next few minutes just kind of going over what my life is like, what it's been like, the amazing journey I've been on, and what you can take from my life and to take a piece of me today. So hopefully you can learn from all the speakers that you're seeing today, but yet take away each individual person and have a part of them with you to look at and analyze situations going down the road. So this is such an amazing day, the 3 hours that they have here today with true heroes. Like, I'm very humbled. My story is, I was just born like this. You know, I didn't suffer anything from the Holocaust. I wasn't a part of 9/11. I didn't have someone try to shoot at me. So again, when you see these stories today, keep in mind the perspective of what some of these people went through. You know, I'm happy to be alive. I've had a wonderful life, and we're going to take a little journey with you now, kind of explain what things have been like for me. So if you can see the screen, and that cute little baby up there was me. Born in 1966, but born without legs. So strike one, right out of the gate, I had some things against me. Strike two, I was put up for adoption. I don't know how that cute little face could get put up for adoption, but you know, I was put up for adoption, and I had two loving parents that picked me up, showed me love, and raised me and adopted me to be just a normal kid. So I had to learn to crawl before I could learn to crawl. Because I was on artificial legs even at an early age, and you can see, you know, there wasn't much ability to walk because I didn't have hips, but because I embraced my disability, I put on shows, and this is me with the Shriners at 4 or 5 years old. I'd go around the state and sing songs and talk to people and tell them about my life, which really led to an amazing journey where newspapers and all kinds of periodicals would tell my story, and we got to travel to San Diego and go to all these amazing places. And again, me just trying to live a normal life without legs. And so I took those opportunities and I made the most of it. I had what I thought was a normal childhood. I was in Cub Scouts just like everybody else, the all-American boy, you know, growing up, going to grade school dances, wearing super ugly shirts to some of those dances, something I thought was very, very cool, which was a really horrible fashion statement. But, you know, when you grow up like that, you're surrounded by love, but you don't realize, you know, the circumstances you're in. And so we were really, really poor. You know, that was the third strike against me. And this is Whitman, Arizona. This is where I grew up. And that's the actual house that I lived in. It was a one-room house, and I had a little area in the back that I kind of slept on, and we didn't have all that garbage in the front. But a couple of years ago, I had the opportunity to take my sons there and show them the house that I grew up and kind of give them a little perspective of where I came from. And my oldest son, Brady, there was, you know, kind of joking around. He said, "Dad, why did you choose to live here?" And I said, "Brady, I didn't choose to live here, but I could choose where I wanted to end up." And so I decided that I was going to turn sports into my ticket to live a normal life. So I started playing high school football in Arizona as the very first and only high school football player without legs. And I took that challenge and I did it successfully. And I said, you know what? Wrestling seems like a pretty cool sport. So again, here I am. As a wrestler, and I went to state tournaments, and I won tournaments, and I kicked a lot of butt in those days, and I had a pretty amazing WWE type move that usually worked every time. As they think they've turned down my body and about to get me and stick me, I just kind of did a somersault and flipped over, rolled down the legs, and that was all she wrote. So wrestling was really, really a good sport for me. I knew what to do against you leggies, but no one knew what to do against me. And then, of course, the next level obviously would be baseball. So I played high school baseball in Arizona, setting records for walks in a season and in a career. I also hit over 300, but I also played right field. And when you're in the outfield, you've got to catch the balls. So I had to develop and figure out a way that I could play sports just like everybody else, where I wasn't a deterrent or a detriment or anything that really bothered the team. And again, suddenly this legend of this legless boy in Wickenburg, Arizona started traveling all over the United States and all over the country, and again, giving me more and more opportunities to wrestle and to meet celebrities and talk to people in professional sports and sit in broadcast booths and, you know, really have an amazing life as a teenager. And I thought, well, what am I going to do after high school? What is the next level for me? You know, you appear in the National Enquirer, you do all these things, and then you appear on a TV show before millions of people. This was before cable, when you only had like 6 or 7 stations. That's me as a 15-year-old on national TV saying I wanted to play professional baseball and I wanted to work in television. So I went to my prom, I had a wonderful time, graduated high school, and I figured, well, what's next for me? I've done everything in high school. Should I take it to the college level? So yeah, I played college football at Augsburg University in Minnesota. This is an actual game. That's me playing nose guard, sacking the quarterback, causing the fumble, and proving once again that I was able to take it to a level where none since or ever have played college football without legs. And that led to a tryout with the Dallas Cowboys, and this is actual footage of when I was invited to go to Texas Stadium and be a part of the NFL and try out for a professional football team. Again, the dreams that I had as a child to play a professional sport and to actually get to that level and have that opportunity in Dallas, Texas with the Dallas Cowboys. And then a few years later, the ultimate for me. Again, I wanted to play professional baseball, had the opportunity in 1996 to start at second base for the St. Paul Saints. The gentleman you also see in the video is a guy named Darryl Strawberry. He played in the major leagues, was a superstar with the Yankees and the Mets. He was teammates with me on that team. I also played in the outfield, but again, here's a guy without legs playing professional baseball. They can't take away that from me. To get to know Darryl Strawberry, to become teammates with him, to start and lead off a baseball game, a professional baseball game before thousands of people. I still, to this day, it's one of the most amazing moments of my life, but my life wasn't over. You know, sports might have been done at that time, but then I had the amazing opportunity to move from Minnesota to ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports in Bristol, Connecticut, where I had a 20-year career at ESPN, running the assignment desk, going to Super Bowls, playoffs, World Series, part of the commercials, sponsored by ESPN. And I won 7 Emmy Awards. Those trophies that you see in the background are Emmys. Those aren't something they just give to you for participation. It's given to you based on your ability. And it was my ability to work. But in 2015, ESPN laid off 350 people in the first phase, another 150 in the second phase, and another 100. So people that said I had a golden ticket because I didn't have legs, well, I didn't have a job. And so again, here I am at 50 years old with a family, having to restart my life over and start over again, thinking I would have been at ESPN forever until I was able to retire. So what do you do when you don't have legs and you're starting over again and you're trying to reinvent yourself? Well, I had so many opportunities that came along, and I decided to jump on those opportunities. One was to become a motivational speaker, but 2 was to work for the Disability Dream Anew Foundation, which is a baseball camp that we put on for kids with disabilities. That's my little silhouette there, and I worked with a gentleman named Dave Clark, who was the only baseball player ever to pitch on crutches in the minor leagues. He had polio when he was a kid, but he pitched in the minor leagues. And so we team up, we go around the United States, we work with minor league teams, and we put on baseball camps for kids and adults that will never have that opportunity. Last year we did our baseball camp with Tim Tebow, former NFL player currently playing in the minor leagues, and again, just a great opportunity to give kids that have it way worse off than me and way worse off than you a chance to be normal, a chance to just go out and be outside of their body and just be a kid and play baseball. And the players get into it, and it's really been wonderful. It's really changed my life again to see amazing things. When I meet a girl like Lily, a 9-year-old girl who's born blind that came to our camp, and she said, I want to hit a baseball, and I want to run the bases. So here's a legless guy taking a blind girl around the bases, and every base she wanted to touch it, she wanted to feel it. Again, it's a different perspective. So when you see people that have things way worse off than you, count your blessings. And my blessings now are that I get to go around, I get to talk to adults and kids and travel around the country and tell them about my story and try to tell people it's okay to be different, and to teach inclusion, and to teach respect, and to teach that even if you are a little different, you can still contribute something to society and have a purposeful life, and try to teach others that, hey, it's okay, to be different and to be looked at and to be stared at, because we all are a little different. We all have something wrong with us, and we just have to figure out how you're going to overcome that. So now I get to travel across the country and talk to people and be on TV and think outside the box or pop outside the box if I'm working at a moving company. And again, they wanted something different, so they brought out the box and I popped it in. But it doesn't matter what audience I have. It doesn't matter the size of it. It's about education, and it's about trying to teach people that all of us are different and all of us have something to contribute. Now, my body's breaking down. I've had 3 shoulder surgeries. Last March, that was me after rotator cuff surgery, where they go in and they scope everything, because my arms are my legs. And when you think about those situations and you have one arm and no legs, how would you get around when you've just had major surgery like that? So you figure out ways to stack up things to get to the toilet. You get stacked up so you can get into the shower. So I can clean
Stevens again for Perfect Edge. What am I doing? I'm in Lambeau Field. How am I able to do it? Well,
there we go. And again, an opportunity to come back, start working for the Disability Channel, play football before 70,000 people in Lambeau Field, which was an amazing experience. Again, when you're at an NFL game and you have 70,000 people that want to touch you and shake your hand and are inspired just because you're out there playing football. And then afterwards, get to go and interview Aaron Rodgers and getting to travel around the country to meet guys like Larry Fitzgerald, who inspire everybody with how they play. And you get to hang out with Guillermo at the Super Bowl, and J.B. Smooth, the actor-comedian, gets down on his butt and says, hey, let's goof around, let's have some fun. Or you get to meet Gronk, and Gronk becomes a buddy of yours, and you get to interview him and talk to him, and you have a great time, and you get a good rapport. And again, the names and superstars that I get to meet and talk to from my travels around the United States, guys like Mike Trout and Joe Madden, who's a friend of mine who has brought me in to work with the Tampa Rays and take batting practice and work out with these teams. And again, I pinch myself because I get to go to Super Bowls. I get to be in the Human Claw game, where I actually had the best score that day, and I won tickets to the Foo Fighters concert at the Super Bowl this year in Atlanta. And J.B. Smooth at Media Day said, let's get down and dance. Can you break dance? And I'm like, I'll try it. So, when J.B. Smooth asks you to do something, you tend to do it. So then we did push-ups, and we had all kinds of people laughing and having fun. But, again, talking to the players, the people that are playing in the Super Bowl, they get down with this guy without legs. They get down, they talk to me, they open up. The commissioner, Roger Goodell, noticed me and said, he was so proud of what the Disability Channel had been doing this season, and to point me out into a press conference in the middle of everything. But I still continue to give back. I'm still playing football. This is a Wounded Warrior football game I played at the Super Bowl. Threw a touchdown pass to a one-armed guy in here. So again, I try to stay active in the things that I'm doing, even at my own age, because sports has propelled me to where I am. So I go around the country and I work out with minor league baseball teams and take batting practice and show them that I can still do these things, and that you shouldn't complain about what your ailments are when you see somebody who has it way worse off than you. And yeah, I'm doing sled hockey, 53 years old, slamming into people. But my day-to-day life is the biggest challenge. How do I take 6 cases of water? Well, I don't do it that fast, but I had to speed it up to show what the process would be like. Or when you have to walk through 2 feet of snow to get to your car because it snowed overnight, and again, you don't have legs, so what do? You put on a hefty bag, you jump outside, and you go out, and you make your way through the snow, and you get in your car, you turn on the heat, and you get out of there as quickly as you can, because again, these are the day-to-day challenges that I have. Sports, that was easy, but living my life, having to travel the way that I do, getting on an airplane. How do I get on an airplane? I hop on my skateboard, I get all my stuff, I make sure that I try to get on first so I'm not bothering people, and I get in my seat. And the best thing about not having legs is I'm in first class every seat. I don't need the leg room, so I enjoy it, while all you guys are fighting for it. But it's also the intimate things, like going to the beach. When you go to a national open area, I'm like a rock star. Everybody stares at me. Everybody's watching what I do. All eyes are on me at every single moment of my life. I can't even pick my nose and eat it because someone's going to report it. Not that I would do that, but again, when everybody's watching you, all eyes are on me every time. My sons and I go to the park. I want to throw a little batting practice to them. Again, crowds gather. I'm just trying to live a normal life as a father, and really inspire my kids to hold everybody else in the same esteem and treat people with respect and dignity. And my job now is to be a dad. But my job is also to go around the country and talk to people and tell people about my life and tell people that it's okay to be different. It's okay to be stared at. It's okay to be abnormal. We all have something inside that makes us different and unique, and that's what's amazing about the life that we can have. Like, not having legs has been a gift to me. It's been a gift. I wouldn't want to be any other way. I wouldn't want to have legs and do all these things because I've lived this amazing life. You know, I've pinch hit for Darryl Strawberry. I've tried out for the Minnesota Twins and the Dallas Cowboys and the Cincinnati Reds. I've done all these things that people with legs, able-bodied people, only dream about doing. It's taken me to New Zealand and Australia and to Ireland to play football. You know, all these amazing things, working at ESPN, all these amazing things for this little kid who was born poor, put up for adoption, and what kind of life was he going to have? Now, if you go to my YouTube page or my YouTube channel, you can see a lot of the videos. There's actually a lot of the videos that show when I was in high school, excuse me, of being on That's Incredible and saying, I want to work in television and I want to play professional baseball. Meanwhile, in the green room, there's this little 5-year-old kid hitting golf balls. That kid, Tiger Woods. So we were on the same That's Incredible show together. It's amazing footage if you see it. Just to, again, put things in perspective of how our paths crossed and which led to Tiger's greatness and which led to my life, you know, turning out to be the life that I wanted by the goals that I had. And again, it's ridiculous and it's almost preposterous for somebody to think that a guy without legs could have those kind of dreams, and for the people to support you and go, yeah, those are nice dreams, but realistically, you know, you should probably shoot for something much lower. And, you know, I had this amazing support group of my parents who adopted me, who died and raised me and didn't hold me back to do these amazing things that I've been able to accomplish. And so my parents were very instrumental. My coaches, if you think about it, if you guys with legs and you able-bodied people that are out there that have played sports, it's tough enough for you to work out and do these things. And if you've got a guy without legs on the team, parents are going to be like, well, you're taking time away from my kid and the instruction of working with my kid. Why are you letting this legless kid on here? He can't do anything. So I had the added pressure of actually having to have skills. You know, I wasn't a charity case, and there are wonderful stories where they hand a football off to a child with Down syndrome and he runs for a touchdown. You know, everything I did on the athletic field, I earned. You know, I ran on my arms, I tackled quarterbacks, I tackled running backs, I hit the ball, I wrestled, I did volleyball, I played basketball, I did all these things, and I didn't have anyone to instruct me or teach me. There were no living life without legs for dummies. You know, I just had to go out and do these kind of things just based on trial and failure, trial and error. You know, I have failed a lot in my life, you know, because you can't have success if you don't have the failures. It's better to try and fail than to sit around and daydream and wish and say, oh, I wish I could have done that, or I wish I'd have tried that. You know, if I've had something in my life that I wanted to try to do, I've gone out and I've achieved it, or at least come as close as possible. You know, and that's why I say you're going to fall a lot as you move up that ladder trying to get to the successes. But for me, I don't have far to fall. So when I fall, I just get right back up, you know. And I've done the things that people only dream about, but I've also, along the way, it's been a great ride for me. You know, we used to do all kinds of crazy stuff when I was a kid in high school, where I would take my artificial legs and we'd put them on one end of a car, and I'd be laying down on the ground like this, and I'd be rolling around like the car ran me over and cut me in half, you know. And people are driving by and like going, oh my gosh, what have I just seen? So I always try to put people at ease and let people see that it's okay to be different. You know, I'm the first person to make fun of myself. I'm the first person to, you know, poke fun at my size or my height or try to put people at ease. And I had a really good coping mechanism as a child, because for my body, the lower appendages are really, really weird. On this foot, there's a little foot and it's got 4 toes, okay? So again, really freaky and weird. On this side, there's 2 toes. There's only 2 toes, and that is another freaky sight. So how do you make something so uncomfortable, so weird and freaky? How do you make it normal? Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Mama and the baby toes. So that's Mama. Her husband left her a long time ago, and she's got her 3 kids over there. She had 2 other sons. They went away to college. They got a condo and moved away. They became doctors. So let me see if I can get JoJo to come out. This is Joe and Joe. You can wave to JoJo. Everybody say hi, JoJo. So, hey, good to see you. So it's kind of like little funny foo-foo, you know, picking up this field mice and bop them on the head again. So not only do I not have no legs, I have these weird, freaky appendages that kind of just got stuck on me for no real reason. But they became Mama and the baby toes. They became human. They had a personality. They had stories. They had a background. And to this day, when I go to high school reunions and I see my friends, they're like, how's JoJo? How's Mama? And we're talking 40 years ago, back in dinosaur times when I went to high school. And it's like, that's pretty cool that I made something so weird and freaky so normal, you know? And again, it is weird, and I know it's okay to stare at me because of the differences that I have. But to have Mama and the Baby Toes and JoJo, and we've since characterized them, and we're actually thinking about putting together a children's book and stuff based on that. But again, I try to put people at ease, because the elephant in the room is always me. You know, I'm the elephant in the room, and people don't know if they should stare, should they look down, do they not want to talk to me? When my kids and I are in the mall and we're shopping, we see kids and parents that are freaking out, and they say, look at that monster, or oh my God, that guy has no legs, or, you know, we try to hear the funniest things because my kids will giggle and laugh, but I'll go up to the kids and I'll shake their hands and I'll say, hey, it's nice to meet you, because I just became human to that person. I'm not a monster, I'm not a freak or anything anymore. And they say, hey, where's your legs? Why don't you have any legs? And I say, I was born this way. And sometimes I'll get out of my wheelchair and get down and talk to them and just be like a real person to them, because that's all you need to be, is real. You know, and I go through things even at my age. You talk about bullying, you talk about the things that we don't like to hear anymore in this day and age. The first time I interviewed Rob Gronkowski, I'm on the field in Foxborough. Gronk and I are having a great time. The Tide Pod commercial just came out. I'm like, hey, Gronk, I'm always on my butt. How do you get the stains out? I pull out a Tide Pod thing. You know, we had a good time. People start tweeting that. The sports writers start tweeting that. And before I even left the stadium, it's out on the internet. And suddenly I get a call from my son, and he's like, you're trending. I'm like, what? What is trending? And he's like, you're trending on Instagram and on Twitter. And I'm like, what does that mean? There's pictures of you all over the internet with Gronk. And I pop it up, and suddenly there's me and Gronk all over the news of sitting together. Here's this guy without legs. And again, they don't know who I am, and they're just putting it out there. Misinformation, fake news. And then suddenly people are commenting on Instagram and Barstool Sports and all these things. And this is where the bullying comes in. Is that the guy from Game of Thrones? Is this guy participating in mixed martial arts? You know, some were very funny, you know, but some of them were very hurtful with dirty language and saying all kinds of mean-spirited things. Again, because people can hide behind that these days. You can bully on the internet, and it's way worse because you don't have to respond and be accountable for your actions, because you can just do it anonymously. And so suddenly my kids and their friends and their friends' friends are seeing their dad, you know, these horrible things. And I get to my son that day after school, and he's like, Dad, what do you think? And I'm like, cool, you know, big deal. Like, those people, they're that phony and they're that horrible that they're going to do this no matter what. And so when you see yourself before thousands of people making fun of you just because you don't have legs, you know, I have a Teflon chest, Teflon arms, that kind of stuff just bounces on me. And if I sat back, if I just truly, honestly, every day sat back and thought about it, how horrible it is to not have legs and what a life it is and the challenges that I go through, yeah, I'd probably be crying and sad, but I can't live my life like that. You know, I'm not going to grow legs. There's no magic bean I'm going to take that's going to pop them out. You know, I have to live every day like this. So I've turned my disability into my ability. You know, I play the sports, I did the sports, I continue to do what I can, but it's the day-to-day challenges now. It's like getting into a school or getting into an area and wondering, well, how do I get in? And is there a ramp? And all these kind of things. Because I wore artificial legs for so long, but the doctor said the wear and tear on my shoulders was killing my body. And so they put me in this wheelchair. And now, You know, I live in this wheelchair, and it's a whole different world, and it's not something that, you know, I enjoy, but it's my best mode of transportation. And again, when you judge a book by its cover, you would never know the life I've lived when you just look at me in the wheelchair. And again, you see somebody and you feel sorry for them. And I'm here to tell you, man, you can have a wonderful life if you put your goals in play and shoot for those kind of things. Get your support from your parents and your teachers. And it's not just about sports, it's about life. Now, all of you have cards that we left for you when you walked in here. Those are just some cards that you can take home. On the front is a beautiful picture of me. I know you probably think I'm a lot better looking in person. You know, I'm part of that. You know, I'm hoping that I can get a big break one day and be a part of that new K-pop band, but I'm more like K-plop, I think. I'm just like, you know, not hip anymore. But take the cards. On the back is a couple of goals. And if you want to put it on your fridge or bulletin board, or you want to wad it up and throw it away, I don't care. But just take a look and start to think, start that conversation of where you want to be in a couple of years. You know, you're going to high school and you've got all these challenges ahead of you. And so if you've got a goal of something that you want to do in the next couple of years, you want to become a doctor, you want to become a lawyer, you want to volunteer at a hospital, you want to get into music and singing, and you're an athlete and everyone's going to make fun of you for being in choir or something like that, you know. Don't ever let anybody tell you what you can't do. Just go out and do what you can do. And give 100% every time. Nobody has 100% every day. You wake up, you got the aches and pains, you stayed up way too late last night watching Ninja play Fortnite, or, you know, doing stuff with Madden online or whatever. But every day is not going to be your best day. So you have to go out and you have to give 100% of what you have. So if that's 75%, give the best 75% you have that day. You know, it doesn't matter if it's in math, if it's a test, or if it's a school function that you're embarrassed about giving a presentation or something like that. Give your best every day, you know, because this is all we have. When I wake up in the morning, you know, I put my pants on both legs at a time and I start going. You know, people ask, pants or shorts? Well, I'm in shorts, and that's easy. It's a lot cheaper to buy shorts than pants, but, you know, my life is getting more and more challenging as I grow older. And so I have to take it a little easier on the things that I do in my arms. So now I use my voice. I use my voice to teach, to try to inspire, to try to motivate, to try to change you. So today you can take a little thing, just one little thing away from me today is never quit. Never give up. If a dude without legs can get as far as I did in my life, there's no excuse for you guys. There's no excuse out there. So if you can look at the card, go to the videos, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. YouTube channel has a lot of fun stuff, not just news. There's interviews, there's fun stuff. Like I said, I do a lot of goofy stuff. I do a lot of fun, crazy stuff, you know. I'm 53, but I'm going on 16. So sometimes my kids get embarrassed by the things that I do and the silliness that I do. But, you know, I enjoy my life. I'm going to continue to do this as long as I can. And like I said today, if you can just take one thing away from each of the presentators or the people that you're listening to, just go out every day, be thankful for what you have, and give 100% of what you have.